On the 28th of August 2026, the moon will pass through Earth's shadow during a partial lunar eclipse. For thousands of years, eclipses have been surrounded by traditions, beliefs, rituals, and warnings. But what should you actually avoid during a lunar eclipse? And more importantly, what can you do instead? This video is not about fear. It is not about predicting bad luck or frightening you with superstition. Some of the practices we will discuss come from traditional and spiritual beliefs rather than modern science. So wherever tradition and science differ, we will make that distinction clear. Let's begin. 1. Avoid fear and panic. The first thing to avoid during the lunar eclipse is fear. You may see dramatic messages online claiming that the eclipse brings disaster, negative energy, or terrible events. Don't allow these predictions to control your mind. Astronomically, a lunar eclipse is a natural event. It happens when Earth moves between the Sun and the Moon, causing Earth's shadow to fall across the Moon. There is nothing inherently dangerous about this. What to do instead? Go outside if the eclipse is visible from your location. Look at the Moon. Observe the changing light. Use the opportunity to learn something about astronomy. Replace fear with curiosity. Instead of asking, "What terrible thing is going to happen?" ask, "What can this extraordinary event teach me?" 2. Avoid constant social media. During an eclipse, millions of people may be posting predictions, photographs, warnings, and sensational claims. It can become overwhelming very quickly. If you spend the entire eclipse looking at your phone, you may completely miss the experience happening above you. What to do instead? Put your phone away for a while. Find a quiet place. Look at the sky. Listen to the sounds around you. Allow yourself to experience a few moments without constant information. The eclipse can become an opportunity to disconnect from digital noise and reconnect with the present moment. 3. Avoid arguments and unnecessary conflict. Some spiritual traditions encourage people to remain peaceful and inwardly focused during eclipses. Whether or not you follow those traditions, avoiding unnecessary conflict is valuable. An argument can continue inside your mind long after the conversation has ended. What to do instead? If someone irritates you, notice your reaction before responding. Give yourself a few seconds. Breathe. Ask yourself, "Do I really need to react to this?" Sometimes the strongest response is not another argument. It is awareness. 4. Avoid heavy or mindless eating. Certain traditional practices recommend fasting or avoiding food during an eclipse. There is no scientific evidence that food becomes dangerous simply because a lunar eclipse is occurring. However, if you personally follow an eclipse tradition, you may choose to eat beforehand or keep your meals simple. What to do instead? Listen to your body. Stay properly hydrated. Choose simple, nourishing food. If fasting is part of your personal spiritual practice and it is appropriate for you, use the time you would normally spend eating to sit quietly, pray, or meditate. But don't turn fasting into punishment. The purpose should be awareness, not suffering. 5. Avoid alcohol and intoxication. If you want to use the eclipse as a period of reflection, avoid anything that unnecessarily clouds your awareness. An extraordinary celestial event does not happen every night. What to do instead? Drink water. Make herbal tea. Sit outside if conditions are safe. Observe the moon. Allow yourself to experience the night clearly and consciously. You don't need to escape the present moment. Experience it. 6. Avoid making impulsive life decisions. Eclipses are sometimes described online as powerful moments for ending relationships, quitting jobs, or making dramatic changes. Be careful with this idea. An astronomical event should not pressure you into making a major decision you have not properly considered. What to do instead? Reflect. Write down what you are feeling. If something important comes into your mind, don't immediately act on it. Write it down and revisit it later. Ask yourself, will this still make sense tomorrow? Awareness can happen in a moment. Wise decisions often require time. 7. Avoid gossip and negative speech. If you are treating the eclipse as a period of reflection, consider reducing unnecessary negative conversation. Notice how often the mind wants to criticize, compare, or judge. What to do instead? Try an hour of conscious speech. Before saying something negative about another person, ask, is this necessary? Is it helpful? Would I say this if that person were standing beside me? If not, allow the thought to pass. Use the eclipse as an experiment in conscious communication. 8. Avoid turning tradition into medical fact. Many cultures have eclipse traditions. Some traditions include specific recommendations for pregnant women, food preparation, sleeping, cutting objects, or remaining indoors. People are free to observe traditions that are meaningful to them. But traditional beliefs should not automatically be presented as medical facts. There is no established scientific evidence that simply being outside during a lunar eclipse harms a pregnant woman or unborn baby. What to do instead? Respect tradition without creating fear. If a family follows certain eclipse customs, those practices can be observed peacefully. But when health or pregnancy is involved, medical decisions should be based on appropriate professional medical guidance rather than frightening eclipse claims circulating online. Tradition and science do not have to become enemies. We simply need to understand which is which. 9. Do not use solar eclipse rules for a lunar eclipse. This is extremely important. Some people hear the word eclipse and immediately think they must never look at it directly. That warning applies to viewing the sun during a solar eclipse without proper eye protection. A lunar eclipse is different. You are looking at the moon, not directly at the sun. What to do instead? Look at the lunar eclipse with your naked eyes. It is safe to observe. You can also use binoculars or a telescope for a closer view. Watch Earth's shadow gradually move across the lunar surface. No special solar eclipse glasses are required for viewing a lunar eclipse. 10. Avoid expecting something supernatural to happen. Don't spend the entire eclipse waiting for a miracle, disaster, or mysterious sign. You may miss something much more extraordinary. Something real is already happening. Earth is casting its shadow hundreds of thousands of kilometers through space onto the moon. What to do instead? Pay attention to what is actually happening. Look at the shape of Earth's shadow. Notice how slowly it moves. Notice any changes in brightness or color. Think about the enormous distances involved. Reality itself can be astonishing. 11. Avoid obsessing over negative energy. If you enter the eclipse believing something terrible is surrounding you, every ordinary feeling can suddenly seem threatening. A headache becomes a sign. A disagreement becomes a prediction. A strange dream becomes a warning. Fear begins interpreting everything. What to do instead? Observe your thoughts without immediately believing them. If anxiety appears, recognize it. Take several slow breaths. Feel your feet touching the ground. Bring your attention back to your surroundings. Ask yourself, what do I actually know right now? This simple question can separate reality from imagination. 12. Avoid trying to control everything. An eclipse is a beautiful reminder that enormous processes are happening beyond human control. The moon continues moving. Earth continues rotating. The planets continue traveling around the sun. None of them require our permission. What to do instead? For a few minutes, stop trying to fix everything. Sit quietly. Breathe naturally. Allow thoughts to come and go. You don't have to solve your entire life tonight. Sometimes observation is enough. 13. Avoid carrying anger into the experience. Many people carry conversations from yesterday into today. We replay what someone said. We imagine what we should have answered. We keep the argument alive even when the other person isn't present. What to do instead? Use the eclipse as a symbolic moment of release. Think about something you have been carrying unnecessarily. Perhaps resentment. Perhaps jealousy. Perhaps disappointment. Perhaps guilt. You don't have to pretend that nothing happened. Simply ask, do I still want to carry this? Sometimes letting go doesn't change the past. It changes what the past is allowed to do to your present. 14. Avoid making dozens of promises. Special occasions often make us promise enormous changes. Tomorrow I will change everything. I will wake up early. I will exercise every day. I will stop every bad habit. I will completely transform my life. Then a few days later, nothing has changed. What to do instead? Choose one realistic intention. Only one. Maybe you want to become more patient. Maybe you want to reduce unnecessary screen time. Maybe you want to exercise regularly. Maybe you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe you want to meditate for 10 minutes each morning. One small action repeated consistently can change more than 20 dramatic promises. 15. Don't miss the eclipse inside yourself. While everyone is looking upward at Earth's shadow crossing the moon, there is another kind of shadow worth observing. Our own unconscious patterns. The anger we repeat. The fears we never question. The habits we automatically follow. The judgments we make without noticing. What to do instead? Sit quietly for a few minutes. Close your eyes. Notice your breathing. Notice sensations in your body. Notice thoughts appearing. Don't fight them. Don't judge them. Just watch. Then ask yourself, what am I holding onto that I no longer need? Don't force an answer. Simply remain with the question. The lunar eclipse of the 28th August 2026 does not need to become a night of fear. It can become a night of observation. Instead of fear, choose curiosity. Instead of endless scrolling, choose silence. Instead of arguments, choose awareness. Instead of intoxication, choose clarity. Instead of impulsive decisions, choose reflection. Instead of superstition presented as fact, choose understanding. Instead of carrying resentment, consider release. And instead of simply watching Earth's shadow move across the moon, take a moment to observe the shadows within your own mind. Because the most meaningful part of an eclipse may not be what changes in the sky. It may be what you become aware of while watching it. So on the 28th August 2026, if the eclipse is visible where you are, look upward. Observe. Reflect. And remember, the darkness crossing the moon is temporary. The shadow moves. The light remains.